Shalom, what is stuff? Salzburg giving no praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakodash, double honor to the Apostle Great Most, and an honor to you brothers doing the work of the Most High in truth and in sincerity. Yahweh's real name, of whom the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah or Yahweh. His real name is Yahweh. His son's true name is Yahweh Shai. And when we pray Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba meaning in, Ha meaning the, and Sham meaning names, Yahweh, the name of Yahweh Shai. This is inspired by, I was listening to Apostle Taha, a video that he was doing, and he had quoted this quote, right, "Destroyer of worlds," right, by Robert Oppenheimer, right. Now I'm become death, right. Destroyer of worlds. And as I was listening, right, I was thinking about, how it's destroyer of worlds when this particular guy said that, but ultimately it's just going to be destroyer of Esau's world, right? Because the Lord basically put the spirit into these into these devils to think up this technology, right? That the Lord is the one that inspired them to think about this, and how to achieve it, right? The Lord is the one that allowed them to achieve it. Okay, so we're not gonna have these weapons in the kingdom, right? These weapons are gonna be all used up here, and then after that, they're all gonna be destroyed, right? So we're just gonna get a couple of precepts. We'll start off with Isaiah 54:16, because as always, this is these devils can say, oh, I did it. It was the work of my own hand. But ultimately, right, it was Yahweh that gave them the understanding to do so. So this is Isaiah 54:16. It says, "Behold, I have created the smith, that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. I have created the waster to destroy." Right, and this is referring to these ICBMs. Remember, which called the elder brother was going into. Elder brother Ricard was going into how ultimately all of these ICBMs, for the most part, it's just Smith work. It's about how to, move this payload, right? And then the technical, or rather the physics around, like, not burning up on re-entry, being as light yet durable as possible, and all of those things. Just a lot of Smith work, right? Like the ancient Smiths. That's what they're basically doing. When you see these these weapons, right, re-entering the atmosphere or traveling at the speeds they do, right? In fact, that's the same thing with the what do you call these ones, hypersonics. They're moving so fast they create a layer of plasma around them. So that one of the things that the Smiths have to do, right, is to basically make it such that it doesn't get destroyed upon basically when it gets too hot, right? So otherwise it will just blow up before it's even hit its target. Now, who gave them the understanding to do that? Once again, it was Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because the Lord has a purpose, right? And that purpose is to wipe America off of the face of the earth, right? And to let nukes fall in some other places, right? Some warheads fall in some other places. There's a precept on that. This is Jeremiah 50:25. It says, "Yahweh hath opened his armory, and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation." That's that word. Indignation goes into righteous anger, right? Because the Lord is angry, and he's right to be angry. Okay, and these ICBMs are a part of Yahweh's armory. Yeah, and you're gonna have the chariots pursuant to Second Ezra. What was that, the 13th chapter, right? You're gonna have the chariots coming in. Yahushua leading them, right, with lasers, right, destroying everything. Okay, so let's read that again. Yahweh hath opened his armory, and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord, power of hosts, Salakia, in the land of the Chaldeans. Okay, so that's it. Let me see. What's this one going into? Oh, yeah, okay, so yeah, Jeremiah 50:26, right? It says, "Come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing be left of her," right? Which is America's allies. The Lord is going to put the spirit in America's allies to do these things, right? But why? People may be like, oh, why is this going to happen? Why is America going to be destroyed? America's going to be destroyed, right, because of the wickedness, right? The Esau system is going to be destroyed because of the wickedness that is pushed therein, right? Jumping up to the 14th verse in Jeremiah 50, right? It says, "Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about." In fact, let me read this one, verse 13. Because of the wrath of Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. So the Lord is going to be so pissed off, right, that he's basically going to let America be completely destroyed, as the prophecies say. All right, which is why, for instance, you have in Habakkuk, the third chapter, Habakkuk asks, Lord, was you angry at the rivers? Was you angry at the trees? Okay. Another one, I forget exactly where, I think it's in Joel, right? Basically says, before them, right, it was as a land of Eden, but after them was a desolate wilderness, right? Because it's gonna go from this kingdom that Esau has built and loves, right, to basically just desolation after these missiles hit. So it says, everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Okay, it says, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. So once again, the Lord's going to put the spirit in Esau's enemies, right? It's rather Esau's allies and enemies, right? To shoot these missiles. You read the account trying to remember where it is. Yeah, in Ezekiel the 38th chapter, right? What does it say? It speaks about how the Lord is going to put an evil thought. Right, it says, "Thou shalt think an evil thought." The Lord is the one that's going to make these heathens do it, just like how the Lord is the one that made and gave them, right, the understanding to even put these things together. Right, so it says, "All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows." Right, so these arrows are going to be spent. Right, they're going to be used. Right, and if there, let's say, there's one that remains, guess what? It's going to be destroyed. Unlike in the Planet of the Apes, right, where they had a nuke hidden underground worshipping it. No, right? These nukes are as the apostles say all the time, these nukes weren't made just to sit in what's this word, to sit in museums. They're gonna be used, okay, and they're gonna be used and used once, right? I.e., like they're all gonna be spent, in that what's what I'm looking for. The law, basic law is going to make these missiles used in this destruction, man. That's the point I'm trying to make. Right? But it says, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against Yahweh. Okay, and that's the reason why the Lord is going to do it, right? Because there's a lot of blood that in that land, right? These Edomites, they everything that they push is wholly contrary to the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. And America is that beacon for that wickedness, right? That witchcraft that is then pushed out to the rest of the world, right? That comes from America, okay? So that's why the Lord is going to completely destroy that place, okay? And continue on the point, Malachi 4:1, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, right? So these nukes, right, wouldn't be flying if this was a righteous kingdom. No, these nukes are flying for the wickedness that is found in these in what you call it in this world, okay? It says, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. Right? And the Lord Yahweh hates pride, for example. Right? It says, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith Yahweh of hosts, that I shall leave them neither root nor branch. Okay. And the next one, Isaiah 13:13, therefore will I shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place, in the wrath of Yahweh of hosts, and the day of his fierce anger. Right, because the scripture says that the Lord is slow to anger, but great in power. Right, the Lord has just been there waiting, right, for the day that He has appointed, right, to send His Son Yahweh Shai to come and get busy upon this place. Okay, but ultimately, once again, why is the Lord coming to allow? Rather, why has the Lord prepared it such that these missiles will fly? Because of wickedness. Right, because of all the things that have happened, right, under Esau's rulership, right, the wicked things that have happened under Esau's rulership, right, and then the last one on the point of why this place must needs to be destroyed and will be destroyed, right. This is Isaiah 34:4. It says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. And for my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come upon all Idumea and the people of my curse to judgment. Right? So these missiles are flying for the purpose of judgment. Right? See what else we got in it. Idumea, the Greek way of saying Edom. Right? This is the sword of Yahweh, right? It's filled with blood, it's made with fatness and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For Yahweh hath a sacrifice in Bozrah and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea, right? Bozrah representing America, right? Land of Idumea, anywhere where Esau set up his habitation, okay? It says, and the unicorns shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fight with fatness. For it is the day of Yahweh's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. Right? So once again, these things are coming to happen because of wickedness. Right? The Lord is angry. The Lord is annoyed. Okay, the Lord is annoyed, and that's why once again we go back to Jeremiah 50 and 14. It says this, put yourselves in ready against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, right? For she hath sinned against the Lord. Right, so the Lord is gonna, bring a heavy destruction upon the Esau's kingdom, right? America's gonna be completely destroyed, right, by thermonuclear fire. You're gonna have other places that are hit, right? That we don't know for sure, but we know certain things. We speculate certain cities, a city like London you'd expect to get hit, right? That's in the Russian manifesto allegedly, right? So yeah, that's it, right? But after they're all spent, right? Because this is the reason, right? It says 2 Ezra 6:9, for Esau was the end of the world, right? And Jacob was the beginning of it that followed, right? So those ICBMs are going to be spent, right, for the reason of destroying Esau's world, right? Because they're led to go and get beamed up into them chariots, right? And then when they come back, man, it's the rulership of the Israelites at that point. It's the rulership of the Israelites, not the rulership of any other nation, right? And the prophecy says that when the Israelites are in power, that this is going to happen, right? As Isaiah 2 from the top says, and the word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of Yahweh's house shall be established in the top of the mountains and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it, right? The mountains represent governments, right? So when you see, for instance, you have summits, G7 summit, etc., etc., right? So when it says the mountain of Yahweh's house, that's the basic governing body of Israel. Right? When it talks about the hills, those are smaller governments, if you will. Okay, it says, and all nations shall flow unto it. Right now, just like how people want to do the way that of the Americans, right? In the kingdom of Israel, people are going to be wanting to do the way of the Israelites, right? They're going to desire it. Yeah, when you read the promise, or I forget, it was Deuteronomy 4, Deuteronomy 7, well, basically says that the nations are going to be like, look, man, basically, who are these people that have the most so nigh unto him? They're going to want to learn of our ways, okay? So verse 3, Isaiah 2 and 3, and many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem, right? And here's the point that I wanted. It says, and he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people. They shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore, right? So when you're seeing beat their swords into plowshares, right? So you read, I believe, was it Joel 3, where it's saying beat your plowshares into swords, right? But that's for this world, right? That's for this world, and for this world to be destroyed, right? But in the new world, right, the new world that followeth, right, there ain't gonna be no need for war, but not no need. There's gonna be no need for these weapons, because there's gonna be no more war, right? And the Israelites gonna make sure that remains the case. We ain't gonna be having no rogue factions trying to have wars behind our backs. No, we ain't gonna allow that. Okay, ours is gonna be what do you call it? A kingdom of righteousness, man. Not like, now where Esau just be starting wars for resources to steal other people's stuff, right? So as always, Lord, that was edifying. Until next time, we say Shalom.